Welcome to my channel. So I will be doing a quick analysis of the price action that we see on Bitcoin. And yeah, so this is the first attempt on sharing my analysis, and hopefully this will be helpful for you. But before we dive into it, just note that this is just my own take of the price action. This is not financial advice, so please do not copy my trading and also make sure that you seek professional financial advice elsewhere. Okay, so with that disclaimer aside, let's dive right in. So what you can see on the screen right now is actually 4-hourly Bitcoin Coinbase price action. And we can see that basically Bitcoin movements has been at the top, right? It has been hammering the resistance line on the top. And I think it has a potential to test again. It might not break through, but there is a potential of it testing the top resistance line again. So let me just zoom out a bit so that you can see what's the price action since start of, like, let's say September, right? So you can see that since September, it has been on an upwards trend. It has started consolidating here, and after some level of consolidation, it breaks above, testing the top. Once it failed, it came back down, test again, test again, test again. What's interesting about this price action is if you zoom in on the latest drop over here, this drop is actually part of the news that came out about CZ admitting his own mistakes, right? And he's stepping down as the CEO of Binance. And what is interesting about this drop is, even though Binance being one of the largest crypto exchange out there, the news did not really move Bitcoin price action to break below this support line, right? It managed to stay on above. So what happens is that it actually came down in the lower end, and then it retraced back upwards, and it even go above the previous high over here. So it actually touches this point before it come back down over here. So this signifies buyers' confidence that the recent news of CZ coming out isn't huge enough to make any negative impact on price action. Whether can it stay that way is a separate question, because ultimately the latest price action, at least from a short-term perspective, can be influenced by multiple factors, like whether is there a lot of leverage in the system. If so, then it might actually flush, so the price might actually go down again to flush out all the liquidity that they can capture. So those are the things that you need to keep in mind, in the sense that from a short-term price action perspective, it's hard to predict based on fundamentals, because even though, as you can see, it has dropped, it immediately recovers back. So this could be also because when the price starts to drop, a lot of people starts to short sell, right? But then it recovers back up to clear all the short position, and because all the short position got liquidated, it actually pumps upwards to this point. But it wasn't huge enough to actually break through this point, so it came back down, consolidate, and it went down, and it is coming back up again. Okay, so what's my take on what's going to happen next? My take of what's going to happen next is that the price is going to test upwards again based on the recent price action. So let me just zoom in a little bit more. So when the price hits this area, it came back down, it consolidate, right? There is a slight wedge over here. Something like this. So the price consolidate into this triangle, and then it breaks, kind of breaks down and up, but it's still consolidate at this level. So it signifies that there isn't a real winner at this point. Having said that, for buyers to be able to maintain at this neutral level, which is higher than the before, it also signifies to us that there is more confidence for the price to stay at this level, which is around 37.3k. Once that consolidated, it dropped back down, right? But it immediately recovered back up here. It forms this another candle which is kind of neutral, and now it's testing upwards again. So this tells me that there is a high chance that the price is going to test the top region again. So what I meant by the top region is going to be around this point. Around the red color zone. So I do believe that the price has a potential to go and test this zone again. Whether it actually break through, that's a separate question. No one can predict so far, right? But I do see a potential for it to test this region. So as you can see, it came down, break above, form a new high against the previous high, came back down again, but immediately recover back upwards. So this is a good indication of where the price is moving towards. So I'm quite positive about this. Whether am I going in, that's a separate question. So let me just also bring you across what's the recap a bit on what are the trades that I've done. So right now, in terms of my portfolio, I'm actually at around $760, right? So in the past week, I have gained 29.79%. So I have increased my portfolio by $173. So again, for anyone who is asking the question, is this demo or real account? This is actually real account. I'm running this live stream just to hold myself accountable for the trades that I'm doing, and I can always rewind back to look at why I did certain actions, what was the thought process behind it. So far, I think doing quite well. There was a point where the price actually dipped over here, but I did not actually exit when the price is here. I hold on strong, partly because I do have the holding power, meaning to say that I was not highly leveraged, so I am able to hold through such fluctuation. And when the price came back upwards, I did actually sell away some of my profits. So as you can see here, there was a sell position. It was 1 day ago. So when it reached around this region, I sold once. It came back down, I immediately buy in, and when it came back up, I sold again. So this is the latest movements. I still do have some positions left. As you can see, I'm still getting some level of profit, around $18 unrealized profit. So there is a position that is still open in the buy side. I attempt to hold this through because I have already collected most of my profits at this region. So anything above that, for example, if it break through, I will just let it run and see how far the price can take us. So for now, this is where I see the price will move. If I look at hourly as well, just to get a sense of the lower time frame movements, you can see that it's actually moving in a wavelength, right? So the price went back down initially because of the CZ news. It came back up. There was some level of resistance. It formed like a U shape, which also signifies to me that the seller is losing their dominance. And once they lose that level of strength, it immediately cuts above to test the resistance level. When it tests here, it kind of consolidate again and attempt the second test, which actually failed. So actually, if you look over here, this is already, let me just zoom in a bit. So this is one test, and this is actually the second test, right? So test first, second. By the second test, when it failed, it drops down further, but immediately recovers back to the medium line. So the medium line from a price action perspective will be around this point. So now once it consolidates, you can see that it's attempting the third one. Whether the pass through is another question. So I believe it's going to test this region. But this is tricky, right? Because you can see that if it fails to cut above, it will form a downward trend. So what happens is from here on, it can also do this. Go up, come down, go up, come down, go up, come down. So lower highs and lower lows, right? So those are the things that we need to keep in mind to decide whether it makes sense to go in. If I look at the Fibonacci itself, let me just pull out my crosshair. So in terms of Fibonacci of this swing itself, the consolidation, or rather the support region, is around this level. So if I'm going to plot this point, is where we will expect some level of support to make sure the price bounce back up. So it could be that when the price comes down to this level, it will actually goes up from here, right? So it consolidates, pump upwards. So those are the things that we need to keep in mind. So right now I'm still contemplating if it's a good move to go in. It's actually at a higher region, and from a lower time frame perspective, it's actually going to form a lower low and a lower high. Just looking at this coming down. So let me go back to 4 hourly. Oh yeah, so those are the consideration right now. I will just hold on to my position at least for this candle, and see how it goes from here. So I hope this analysis is helpful for you. Let me just note down analysis as of 24th of November, and the timing now is 8:18 p.m. New York time. And in terms of my analysis, 4 hourly price looking to test resistance zone. My take about this is to hold. Hourly chart, price might form lower high, which here. So same thing, hold. So my position is to hold on to my current trade. So the lower zone again is around this level, so 36.5k, 36.5k. And then for the resistance zones, it's around this region of 37.8k. Right, so I hope this analysis is helpful for you. Again, do not copy my trades. This is just me sharing my own take about the price action and how I'm going to take action for my own trading. Make sure that you understand the risk, seek professional advice elsewhere. And yeah, leave comments and thoughts around your own take about the price action. Really eager to hear more from you as well. So goodbye.